CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. This is Havana calling. CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. This is Radio Havana calling all shortwave listeners and radio amateurs. Welcome to... DXers Unlimited, Radio Havana's weekly feature dedicated to the fascinating world of radio communications.
Sí, amigos, sure, this is Radio Havana Cuba coming to you via shortwave and also from the streaming audio at www.radiohc.cu, our streaming audio internet. I'm on Nicolon here now, item 1 of today's edition of DXers Unlimited, your favorite radio hobby program. This is a compilation of the best of DXers Unlimited for your enjoyment. Now this is Ask Arnie, la número 1, the most popular section of the show. Answering today a question sent a long time ago by listeners from the United States, Japan, India, Mexico, and Chile, among the most recently received messages, and they all want to know more about the most popular antennas that can be used to improve better reception at locations with very high noise levels. Question: which are the most popular antennas for shortwave reception that pick up less noise? Well, that's a really challenging question, amigos, for any electronic engineer. But I will try to provide you with information of 2 of my favorite low-cost DX-capable antennas for the 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10 meter amateur bands and the nearby international shortwave broadcast bands. They are not multi-band antenna. Each must be made for the specific band you want to operate, but they can be tuned up and down to the adjacent upper and lower bands. Results achieved with them are really very good if you are able to install the antennas in the clear. They are made using locally available and low-cost materials as a very important fact. Now, antenna type number 1. It is known as the 1/3 of a wavelength vertical folded monopole. I repeat the name, 1/3 of a wavelength vertical folded monopole. Uses for quarter wave electric elevated radios that produce a low takeoff angle, and of course that's a very nice radiation pattern for DX. They are perfect match for 50 ohms coaxial cable feed line using a very easy to adapt feeder. I used the 20 milliband version for many years because it works also on 30 and on 17, and my signal was many times as good or even better as far away stations from the signals delivered by several of the more active local amateur operators using the typical classic 3-element Yagi, the multiband tri-banders. And using just a single series connected homebrew capacitor made from a length of 50 ohms RG213 coaxial cable, very inexpensive, I'm always able to achieve an almost perfect match to this vertical antenna, 1:1, 0.21, or even less standing wave ratio. This antenna works so well because of the fact, and the engineers tell you that the 120 electrical degrees height of the vertical monopole concentrates the signal at low takeoff angles, the one you need to work the X. Even now, 2019, that we're going through one of the worst ever periods of shortwave propagation ever experienced since mankind learned how to use radio waves to communicate. Listen to this. Yes. Listen to this. I continue to be a full-time advocate of operating QRP or low-power amateur radio operation, although it is quite a challenge. And that's why so many ham radio operators around the world are becoming more and more involved in building or buying CW Morse code rigs that are within the power range from 1 watt all the way up to 5 watts. That's QRP. For phone, they use up to 10 watts. And some of us have installed calibrated signal attenuators that can turn a 1 watt rig at the flip of a switch into a 10 decibels attenuator between the rig and the antenna, cutting the power output to just a tenth of that, 100 milliwatts. And sometimes it works, believe me. The unique joy of achieving a successful two-way amateur radio contact with the DX station while running very low power is second to none, amigos. And by the way, the most popular CDD operating frequencies for CW, for QRP, or very low power amateur stations presently are 7030 and 7040 kilohertz on the 40 meters amateur band. I'll repeat that. QRP parking spots 7030 and 7040 40 meters, 10.106, 10.110. That's on the 30 meters band, very popular now. And 14060, 14060 on 20 meters, That's the favorite parking spot for 20-meter band DX operators. They work QRP on the 15-meter band, 21060 on 15 meters, and 28060 on 10 meters, although 10 meters is closed most of the time nowadays. Calling CQ on those frequencies will, in many instances, bring back stations that regularly keep receivers monitoring them for QRP signals. You can always go and check if any of the skimmers at the reverse frequency network is picking up your CQ call after calling along CQ. Current solar cycle number 24 is now at rock bottom activity, declining toward its end, expected to happen next year. The smooth predicted sunspot number, taken for example for April to May 2018, that's something more than a year ago, was about 15 sunspots. However, the actual monthly value were much lower now. October 2019, that's last month, so a sunspot number of just 0.4, less than 1, 0.4 for October 2019, the sunspot number. That's the lowest registered in the past 11 years. Good question. Will solar minimum be longer than usual, or did solar cycle 25 is going to begin earlier? We don't know. Leading solar and space science experts are convening to convene a meeting in the coming year at the first trimester of 2020 in an attempt to predict solar cycle 25 behavior. That's going to be a challenge, but they're going to attempt it anyway. By the way, the official solar cycle forecast includes the month, year, and intensity of that maximum, the peak average sunspot number. The consensus forecast is the result of collaboration by a solar cycle prediction panel of solar and space scientists from all around the world. Typically, the panel considers all new relevant research results, observation trends, and model predictions available when the panel is convened. Just like hurricane season forecast, solar cycle predictions have improved. However, there are still notable deviations in predictions versus actual what's happening activity. The previous solar cycle prediction panel forecast for solar cycle 24 called for a maximum average sunspot number of 90 to happen May 2013, but it did not happen that way. After looking at the actual sunspot numbers, the smooth sunspot number and solar activity, it was determined the solar cycle 24 maximum was reached April 2014, and peaked below 90 at sunspot number of 82. Smooth sunspot number 82 was the maximum of this very poor solar cycle 24, the one that is ending right now. While the peak value was within the expected range of error, the maximum occurred significantly later than what the panels had predicted. Latest AM broadcast band DXing conditions update for those fans that enjoy AM broadcast band DXing as I do, and I do enjoy it very much. Late afternoon, the layer absorption is now very low because of the extremely low solar flux figures. Rock bottom 68, 65, 64, and just at sunset, I'm noticing a very sudden jump in signal intensity observed from stations located north and east of Havana, especially those located east of Havana in the Cuban eastern provinces do peak at the exact moment of the sunset. Feeling broad daylight DX on the AM broadcast band is happening. And I hope to see you all at the upcoming edition of DXers Unlimited, that usually the weekend, a station on-time contribution to the development of the radio, how we've kept here for more than 30 years in a row. Send your signal reports. I do appreciate them very much. And your comments to info.rac@enet.cu, and via airmail, send it to Arnie Coro. The last name is spelled Charlie Oscar Romeo Oscar. Arnie Coro, Radio Havana Cuba, Havana, Cuba.
And that's all for today. This is Arnie Coro, Radio Amateur CO2KK, your host here at Radio Havana's DXers Unlimited, saying 73 and very good DX.
Thank you, Arnie Coro.